Can I have a show of hands for a volunteer to read something at a given moment? I will hand them out.
You can read your names, other people?
Cool. I can ask for your hand up. Cool. Perfect. There we go. So I'm going to read from a long poem called Moominant, and I've been working with Kimberly for the collection that it's in, and Kimberly encouraged me to sort of break it up and fragment it, and I've shuffled the pages so I don't know what order they're going to be in, and I don't know how this poem will end. And I'll give a little gentle point, and I beckon you to read. Moominant. In the manuscript of Hollingsworth's Mancuniensis at Chetham's Library, a blank page before the frontispiece bears a graphite inscription, Mum, A651. A corruption of mun used to signify filing in the muniments room of Manchester Cathedral. Hollingsworth had an almost modern preoccupation with the weather. His meteorological entries were disregarded as irrelevant, lacking weft, yet who can dampen the significance of weather in the rainy city, atmosphere awash with rivers? There are 22 steps leading to the muniments room at Manchester Cathedral, one for every victim of terror during the arena bombings of 2017, a pebble distance from the North Porch. There are no coincidences here, the archivist tells me. Though the stone spiral staircase was constructed in 1889 as a memorial to the late James Craven, financed by his children, the room itself tumorous with damp. Needing clean air, I go out to the glade of light, haloing the medieval quarter, to voice each name, observe a powder blue nuthatch curl around a maimed branch.
Places change when you know them. Attenuated magic. Her house holds darkness in its walls. She offered it to rent, but there was too much jaundice and stray futures.
I've been writing about her illness since a diagnosis of hemochromatosis, collecting loose leaves of notes in a memorandum. The blood condition is hereditary. It likely occupies my iron-bound chest. It is an easy matter with God to drown a town, yea, a world. There are a handful of buildings I know well enough to blueprint. Here, the hanging bridge, the hurt, the glinting vortex. To archive something is to consign it to forgetting. Ingo the ghosts and the glade, paracetamol and diaries. Ingo the aftermath, the frontispiece, disoriented animals and you. In No Archive Will Restore You, Julieta Singh references Derrida's archive fever, noting that etymologically arc is the place from which everything emerges, the location from which the thoughts and things of the world spring forth. It is also the place of authoritative law. Arc is the womb and matriarch. In it, he inventories each stained glass window ruined during the wars and documents when the Lord sent his destroying angel in the form of a plague. Additionally to diarising extreme weather events such as the sudden and terrible rain where in 2 hours space 3 channels ran down the streets like great rivers. Anno 1616, Hollingsworth recounts Lambard's flood in which the waters rose yards plume above the ordinary course around the Irwell and Irk. Moist conditions were supposedly conducive to the cotton trade, as fibres become brittle in dry air, yet stay strong and stretchy with the correct humidity, perfect for spinning into yarn. During the Lancashire cotton famine, after years of unprecedented growth and surplus production, impoverished mill workers refused to touch raw cotton picked by enslaved Africans on plantations in southern states. Abraham Lincoln expressed his gratitude to the working men at Manchester, praising their sublime Christian heroism in facilitating the foul blot's erasure. Since viewing the manuscript, I keep thinking about this erroneous inscription, Mum, repeated on the marbled end paper page bearing the ex libris. My mum has been signed off. The past year, her eyes carried panniers like a pack horse. She was not listening to the body, disavowing its biological responses as if they were gadflies swarming around the pain. Hollingsworth's history of the town, written in the beginning of the Civil Wars, is the earliest surviving record of the city. At university, she ran manic after lectures, drunk in grief's undertow, suppressing palliated living rooms with television and radio, keening to her begotten son. Mamucium, the Roman fort in Castleford, from early Brittonic mam, meaning breast, or mama for mother, associated with the local river goddess. What further information is helixed away inside the only son, the destroying angel of blood? Mum, this is what I call you, informally resonant as class determines, contrasting its other definition as silent, root sound of all language, tethering pre-linguistic to ghosts.
His death was celebrated by an entire day fasting.
Since its foundation in 1421, the capitular archives have been misplaced, displaced and replaced as frequently as the collegiate church was dissolved and reformed. The missing archives of the late 16th century led to erroneous accounts that nothing remarkable occurred relating to the church in the 1560s.
Each midday call took its toll, hollowed me like a knave. I turned her name over at the pub, flooded with wet friends.
Despite the goodwill of archivists, it remains impossible to know the actuality of one's birth. When complications coalesced with sedatives, there was blood. I was torn caesural from the womb. We both survived. In procedural infancy, caesarean sections were performed exclusively on dying mothers to increase the state population. Disregarding the anecdote that Julius Caesar was born this way, its nominative origin comes from the Latin verb cadere, meaning cut or hewn.